Hi, I'm Jess Wilford with Learn Programs. Since spring 2020, I've been overseeing the Early Alert program at UW. Early Alert is meant to give students timely feedback on their course progress before mid-semester grades are due. Early Alert is a collaborative effort with the Learn Programs, Registrar, ACES, ResLife, Dean of Students, Student Affairs, and Academic Affairs. And today, I'd like to talk about a critical element of that program, advisors. Early Alert takes place between the 4th and 6th week of class. Faculty are asked to submit feedback indicating the student has satisfactory or unsatisfactory progress. Faculty can also indicate specific concerns such as missed assignments, course attendance, and general behavior. Once faculty submit their feedback, I will compile a working database and send it to advisors. Faculty advisors will only see their advisees. Central advisors will see the entire database. If faculty advisors are not able to reach out to their advisee, central advisors might be asked to help. Once the final report is in, I will send relevant flags to ResLife and send emails to students with unsatisfactory flags in courses we have tutoring or SI in as an invitation to take advantage of those resources. Why do we do Early Alert? Studies show that the first 6 weeks of a semester are critical to a student's success. In the weeks leading up to Early Alert, students will begin to feel either connected to UW or not. They'll feel like school is a good fit for them or not. They're starting to think about resources and how to navigate them. This early intervention gives advisors, faculty, and support staff an opportunity to potentially change that student's mind or at least support them through their decision making. Early Alert is a retention tool and an avenue to show students that we are invested in their success. Early Alert is not a grade. Only undergraduate classes are able to submit Early Alert feedback, and our target is 1,000 and 2,000 level courses. As an advisor, your intervention is critical to the success of the program and supporting students during what is often a make or break point of the semester. If one of your advisees has an Early Alert flag, you will be asked to reach out to them. Best practices for this type of intervention indicate that addressing the person first establishes rapport, reminding students that you are a resource and want to help them are next, and finally, acknowledging the unsatisfactory flag they received. There are any number of ways a student might respond to your communication, but let's talk quickly about a few of them. If your student is confused, take a moment to explain that Early Alert is not a grade and will never appear on any transcript. Students can check their Early Alert flags in their student account to see a full list of feedback, satisfactory and unsatisfactory, from faculty who participated in Early Alert. A student might get a flag for something as serious as missing every single course since the start of the semester, or for something as minor as a missed assignment. Faculty make their own choices as to who they consider flagging. If your advisee dismisses your email or the instructor's feedback or is irritated by your outreach, that's okay. You've done your part by reaching out, which has a long-lasting impact. Lastly, if your outreach is met with relief or an outpouring of emotional remarks, chances are this is exactly what the student needed at the exact time. Remember that you can always submit a UWYO Cares report for any student you have concerns about, but be sure to note that you are the student's advisor, so the report does not get assigned right back to you from the dean's office. What is the best way to contact your students? This is mostly a personal preference or a policy made by your advising unit, but here are some pros and cons to interventions. Some advisors prefer to wait until Early Alert concludes before reaching out to advisees. This is less work for advisors overall, but the downside to that is that it might be 2 weeks or more since the student received the flag before they hear from their advisor. 2 weeks in a semester is a long time. By then, they might have continued to make choices that have a detrimental impact to their success. Email is often the preferred mode of contact. If you are emailing a student, I recommend keeping the email light and very brief. Something like, "Hi Corey, I hope you're enjoying the brisk fall weather today. I saw you got an Early Alert flag in Gen Bio and I wanted to see if there was anything I could do to help." If you have an advisee that has 3 or more unsatisfactory flags, that's a pretty good indicator that they are seriously struggling. It's unlikely they are checking email. You might consider calling them. The report I provide does have phone numbers listed. What is the impact of Early Alert? For some students, Early Alert is exactly what is needed to motivate students, prompt reflection, and help make good choices. However, Early Alert does not necessarily change grades or behavior, and this is true at the national level. What Early Alert does is 3 things. First, Early Alert shows students that their success matters to us. It's a retention initiative meant to keep students involved in their education. Second, we don't usually see students with unsatisfactory flags often changing their behavior or coming into tutoring or SI. What we do see is students making informed decisions about whether or not to continue in the course they are not succeeding in. Although a withdrawal isn't the desired outcome, it is certainly preferable to a failing grade. Finally, and maybe most importantly, interventions made by advisors, faculty, and support staff plant a seed. Even if your advisee chooses not to seek out your help or ours, they will remember your words and advice down the road and in other situations, and that might make all the difference. Thank you for your support with Early Alert. Without you, this program would not work. If you ever have any questions, need help, or have ideas about how to make Early Alert a better program, please don't hesitate to reach out.